Okay, so this is this 16, and yeah, yesterday when I left the town, I just started to work, and there is one thing I forgot to mention in the last video, which is that so I was actually looking to find new shoes, and something quite nice happened at the abbey, which is that the monk, actually the brother who first whom I first saw, actually offered me a pair of nice shoes, and yeah, they're a little bit like oversized, but they're much more comfortable, and so yeah, I tried them yesterday, and I feel they're like better. I need still to my feet still need to adapt a little, but other than that, they're good. So, and I left him my own shoes. But yeah, so yesterday, so I worked through the forest, and most of the work was pretty nice. Um, I think I think like I still need to look a little bit at which like the path I follow, because I kind of like put the destination on my app, and kind of gives me a I don't know if it's the shortest or like the just like kind of a random road, and so yeah, maybe it's not the best like walking path, but still it was nice, and just like at some point it's led me into like kind of really like overgrown, like with a lot of vegetation, and it was kind of difficult to walk there, and then like part of the path was flooded, so yeah, that was a bit of a tricky part for maybe, I don't know, like a kilometer or something like that, and yeah, like so I got out of the forest after maybe like 20-25 kilometers, and I was actually already pretty tired, so yeah, I think I you know, like part of me is still um, like telling myself that I need to like walk a certain distance, or you know, like more is better or something like that, and what I felt yesterday was that yeah, I was feeling tired, so maybe I was actually just at the point of reaching a town, so I told myself I will just stop there, and so I did. um, I stopped there, and so yeah, I just sat down. I just sat down on the, it was like a very small like um, city center. It's just like one street, like a short street, and I actually sat down on the paved walk, and with my bag next to me, and it was kind of a funny situation, because I think it was more of a like the people in that town were maybe like a little bit like kind of like richer people, I don't know, and they were just looking at me like as if I was homeless or a beggar or something, and yeah, I was just asking some of the people that passed by if I could sleep somewhere, and so yeah, it was a bit like, sometimes it's actually very humbling to do these things, and had like a nice experience where I was just there, and I was going through like a little bit of pride, and then I just realized, you know, like I didn't have to take any of that seriously, because it's really like it's my choice to do that, and I started laughing actually, and just smiling and laughing at the people who passed. So that was nice, and then at some point a woman passed by, and I asked her, and she said, okay, look, I will pass by in an hour, and if you haven't found anything, you can come with me. And the woman seemed very nice, and just we talked a little bit, and then she said like, oh, you could actually go and ask the priest who lives right next to the church, and if he can't, you can ask the woman who lives next to her. So I thought, okay, I will go and do that, and if that doesn't work, I just come back where I was and wait for the woman. So I go up to the church, and the priest wasn't there, but there was a boy working in his garden, and so I talked with him a little bit. He tried calling him, and the house next, like the neighbor, wasn't answering. So I came back and sat down again, and then after a while the boy actually came with his motorbike and stopped and told me like, oh, the priest just came back, so you can go and you can stay with him. So I went back up, and kind of a weird situation unfolded, because so his house was it's like a very old house and very like poorly maintained, and yeah, he seemed very distant, and he gave me like a couple of rooms in the house, like just like initially he thought I would just like put my tent in the garden, and I told him I had no tent, and so he gave me like kind of like a camping bed or something and a sleeping bag, and put me like in a dining room, and there was like a kitchen next to the dining room. I don't think he was using these rooms, I'm not sure actually, but he was in another part of the house, and it was very, very dirty. Like the kitchen was horribly dirty, and there was some food in the kitchen, but all of the food was like, almost all of the food was bad, and like more alcohol than food, and yeah, like the 2 or 3 short interactions I had with him were a little bit weird, and he told me I couldn't take a shower, so very quickly I was like, I mean, it was like the woman had already like, it was too late for me to go back, but actually I saw her getting out of the house, and she told me that she was living very close by, so I thought that was the house, and I thought like, because I wasn't feeling very like comfortable, like in the sense, yeah, like I don't know, I had some thoughts coming up around like, yeah, not feeling very safe or something like that, and so I thought, okay, maybe I will go and knock on the door where I saw the woman, and if she says yes, then I can just come back, take my stuff, and go with her, so that's what I did, but she didn't. It wasn't her house, so I couldn't find her, and so I went and slept there, and it ended up just okay, you know. So yeah, this morning I left pretty early, around like 7. I woke up like at 6:30, and I think it was like probably like 8 when I left, or something like that, and yeah, so I hitchhiked to this place, and so that's a city called Beauvais, and it's still pretty early. I think it's noon, and I will just like chill a little bit and see what happens.